Space
Gypsy
Bodega. Welcome to Space Gypsy Bodega. This is Zach, and this is the few videos I'm doing for December 25th for all the things that happen on December 25th. And one thing that happens on December 25th now that we see is a Christmas tree is up, and there's presents underneath it wrapped in red and white paper, and the Christmas decorations on the pine tree. It's always a pine tree, very important. And it's little red balls on it, right? With sometimes little speckles on it. And things you can eat on the tree, like people string popcorn. And so what you have is this tree ceremony, this tree ritual with these colors and gifts at the bottom that are wrapped in red and white paper. It's important. And really no one knows where it comes from or has a really direct, knowledge of where this tradition comes from. So let's just go into one thing. I mean, there's a lot of things that the Christmas tree represents, and we can go into the tree of life. We can go into the Kabbalah. It just goes on. There's a lot of tree. The tree is a definite spiritual icon to represent many things. All right, so what we're going to talk about, though, is just this one thing that's pretty strong and pretty much taboo and all removed from the tree ceremony that happens now on December 25th every year. We're going to talk about this item right here, the Amanita muscaria mushroom. This mushroom grows. This mushroom is the fruit of the pine tree, and the way it is while the pine tree, when you look at it, you never see fruit on it, but down the trunk, below, into the ground, on the root, is where this fruit is. It grows out of the root of a pine tree, so it's the fruit of a pine tree, and it's a red and white mushroom, and it's a psychoactive mushroom. It kind of gives more of like an out-of-body experience more than a kind of like full-on bells and whistles, illusionary experience. It's a anyways, it's a sacrament. Anyways, so it's a sacrament, and that's why I have these pictures here that I was trying to pull up to show you right now. And it's this picture right here, and this picture here. This one is from a church that is at least the church is 4,000 years old. These are mosaics inside this church near Jerusalem. This church had these mosaics on the wall, and they're, as you can see, 2,000 years or so before Christianity, the Christian, here's a Jesus character here, the Christian mythology was going on, was in the churches before the current popular Jesus character that we have now. So here, you look at this. Here's this big red circle. It's like the top of a mushroom, and these white speckles on it. Looks like the muscaria mushroom. So you see here, Eve looks like she's eating an apple. So the artist made it look like the apple's a great representation of this mushroom right here. So here she is eating from the tree of knowledge, the forbidden fruit, and you can see the snake, Kundalini snake, coming up and talking to her, in this graph here. In this photo here, you can see the Jesus character, and you can see this cocktail that they have here of three of these four mushrooms right here, and it was their recipe. You know, it was what they used to create a religious experience, a spiritual experience, if you will. Now, if we look over here, and I'll just finish up this video with this, the tree. The reason why there's the red bulbs and the decorations on the tree is that the Nordic shaman who wore red and white costumes because they were peddling their mushrooms to get lodging and food, you know, for the bare winter. They would put the mushrooms. They'd pick all the mushrooms from the roots of the pine trees in the winter, in the dead of winter, and they would put the mushrooms on the tree to dry out. So while they are going out and hunting more mushrooms, these mushrooms, you'd see these, you know, many pine trees covered in mushrooms like laundry, you know. So that's the reason why the tree is decorated in that manner from that ceremony. So this was the Santa was a shaman, Nordic shaman, who, you know, this is how they make out through their winters, you know. So they'd come to the house with their big sack of dried out mushrooms that they dried out on the Christmas trees, and they would, the houses were mostly snowed in, so they didn't have to go in through the roof as most people did, and they'd come down the roof and come down and through the chimney, and they would exchange food and lodging for the mushrooms, which were very sought after and great if you're cooped up. You know, what a good time. So there it is. This is the Christmas tree, and what is the Christmas tree? It's the tree of knowledge. What is the tree of knowledge? The Animascuria mushroom, as shown here in the Garden of Eden. Merry Christmas.